Hey everyone, it's Console Crapshoot. We usually play a random game, but I got something different this week that I really wanted to talk about. I got a new thing, a very big and exciting new thing for me. And it's not even right here in front of you, sort of. It's right next to it. I finally got a CRT. I got a CRT that I've been waiting for. It's a very specific one. Don't worry, those lines are normal. If you're young and you don't know, that's not the way it looks in real life. That has to do with the refresh rate and how the cameras shutter, and it just picks up those lines on the camera, but that's not real. There's Carl, he's sleeping. There's Odo, he's sleeping too. So there's a whole story and a whole drama behind that I think might be pretty interesting for people, but just so you know, this is not a normal CRT. This is a Bang & Olufsen MX4000. It's a very sought after, very rare TV. It's actually, believe it or not, thinner than most CRT TVs. I know this doesn't look thin compared to what we're used to, but this is pretty thin for a TV of its time. So let me give a little background here. One of the biggest comments I get, not so much on TikTok, everyone's nice on TikTok, but on YouTube, it's kind of a cesspool, and you get bad comments sometimes. Not as bad as Twitter. But so the number one thing people say sometimes is, "Oh, you don't even have a CRT. That's lame." And they the CRT bros kind of get in your comments, and it's really quite annoying. The reason I never got a CRT is not because I didn't want one. It's not because I couldn't get one. It's because I was waiting for this very specific CRT. And I wasn't in a rush to get one because, look, I've got a 75-inch OLED, and if you have a nice OLED, and if you have this, the RetroTink 4K, you can pretty much make everything look gorgeous. Right now I have everything on sharp. It looks very sharp, as you can tell. But I can turn on scan lines, I can put on masks, I can make this look like an old CRT if I want to. I don't have it set that way right now. But, you would get these kind of scan lines that you would get on a TV, on an old TV. So I was never in a rush to get one. And the reason I wanted this specific one is not only because of the look. I mean, it's gorgeous. It has this stand. I'll get into that. But the reason I wanted this specific one is because, yeah, the look, the aesthetic, it's really nice looking. Especially for like a TV of its day. They're all kind of ugly. This thing's gorgeous. But the other thing, maybe I'll show screenshots. Basically, the back has two SCART inputs. And I didn't want a TV that was too big and definitely not too small. This is kind of the exact size. I believe this is a 21-inch. And usually 21-inch TVs don't have two SCART inputs or two component inputs. My setup, as you might know, I only use SCART, which is like a European equivalent quality-wise to component. I use component. Now focusing here. Yeah, I use SCART, component, or HDMI. So I needed either two component, two SCART, or one of each in order to do what I wanted to do, because these two switchers, the G-SCART and the G-Comp, in the back there both have two outputs. So the one output is going to the Tink and then feeding this guy, and the other output was always empty, and it was always waiting to go right over here to this guy. I had this planned out for years. I just could never get my hands on a Bang & Olufsen MX4000. I also had to get a Tink comp to RGB to turn this into the second SCART for this. So now I had that all set up. I've just been waiting to get my hands on one. So rewind a little bit. Going back some years, I guess about 3 years ago, I saw one of these on eBay, and I think it was like $600 or something. I thought it was too expensive at the time. I didn't know how rare these things were, and I didn't go for it. And, I figured maybe one day I'll run into, I'm a collector, I go to like shows, maybe one day I'll run into someone who has one at a show or something, but they're from Denmark. They didn't make them in the US. There was a very limited release of them in the US, but they're compatible with everything in the US. So I just kind of was like, I'll just wait for one. And it never happened. About a month ago, not this one, it's a whole other drama. One popped up on eBay, and it was very expensive, way more expensive than the last time. Way more expensive than the last time. But this time I was like, you know what? This is an opportunity I'm never going to get again. I messaged the guy and, I was concerned about the shipping. This is in Denmark and I'm in the US, and I'm like, you got to, put this on a pallet or something. I don't know. You got to be really careful when you ship this thing. And he's like, yeah, we know, we're professionals and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, and they are professionals, and the guy was really nice and answered all my questions. But I think this is the first time they were doing a CRT sale, at least overseas. And it's kind of a business they want to break into, and I don't blame them. Being in Denmark, these things probably grow on trees there, but you can't get them here. So people, idiots like me, are willing to pay too much money for them. Fast forward another week and a half or so, I get the TV, and it is destroyed. Let me actually switch. So this is the TV that arrived. It's actually pretty cool. It's red instead of the white. Same exact TV, but I can show some screenshots, but it got banged up real bad. The body is all bent up on it, and most importantly, the tube doesn't work. The TV powers on, like the red light comes on, but you don't get any picture, you don't get any snow or anything. So the tube is shot. So this thing's busted, and I was really upset. Let me switch back. So I messaged the guy, and I was like, a second away from like reversing the credit card. But he was like, no, let me make this right. And the guy went above and beyond. This is Move Marine, Martin from Move Marine, on eBay, and I'll put their information on here. But super nice guy. He's like, let me make this right. He went and got another TV. That's this guy, the white one. And he sprung for like freight shipping, like probably spent over $500 on shipping, and got me the new one. And I was thrilled. So I was really worried about it coming. Came on a big freight truck. And I even said, you know what, if you do that, thank you. I'm going to spring for the stand, because the stand was a separate thing. This is a separate thing. This is the custom stand for the Bang & Olufsen. And the reason why that's so cool, I'm just going to switch here, the menu. If you go down, there's got to be a better way to do this, but it's the only way I know, because I just got this. But the stand is motorized. And can you see it? It's turning on its own there with the remote. And yeah. So let me put that back. So basically, I can sit here. And I've got this guy here. I've got it here. I could have it on two screens. I could have it on one screen. I could be watching TV on here and playing a game here. I could be playing like a newer game. Someone could be playing a newer game, like one of these HDMI ones, which unfortunately I won't be able to get to this, at least not with my current wiring setup. And someone playing an older game here. I can also play light gun games now, which I couldn't do before. So that's really exciting. Yeah, this TV is amazing. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous TV. I really, really love it. I love the profile of it. And this one was in perfect condition. And again, thank you to Move Marine, Martin from Move Marine, got this to me. I spent a lot of money on it, and it was more money than I had, but it just goes on the credit card, and eventually I'll catch up, I guess, hopefully. But it's the one really big thing that I needed, that I was waiting for. So now the comment nerds can get off my back. I got a CRT. I was just waiting for this one. I didn't want to get anything. You can get anything, but I wanted to get this specifically because, as you can see, I take kind of pride in the aesthetic in my setup, so I wanted the right thing. This is the right thing for me. As far as the red one, it breaks my heart that this thing isn't working. It kills me that because of me, not really because it wasn't my fault, but this thing was damaged. It's a piece of history to me. So I do want to get it fixed up. It would require, I would need someone who could fix or replace the tube. I would need someone who probably has to solder put some new capacitors, and also this physical damage back here. You could tell it's all cracked off of its alignment. There's not supposed to be this much space in between here. I would need to find somebody who completely do that. Maybe like use fiberglass and paint match this and make it, in order to make it just right. I feel like that would be a lot of work and cost a fortune, but I might be willing to do it. Maybe, once I get caught up a little bit, maybe if I find someone, if anyone knows someone who can repair that, that would be amazing because, it might be worth it in the long run. Maybe I sell it, maybe I keep it. I don't know. But in the long run, the thing is worth a lot of money. And to have it just kind of broken sitting in my guest room is kind of a huge waste. So I would absolutely be interested if anyone knows anyone who can do all of those things. And yeah, hopefully they would be like in driving distance because I don't want to ship this. So I'm in North Carolina. So if anyone knows anyone, please let me know. But this was a big thing for me to get. I'm really excited. There was a lot of drama. I gave you really the short version of what happened because I was really anxious. This took about a month to get to where we are now. But we're here and it's awesome. And I feel complete, at least for now, until I find something else that I need. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a good one. Bye.